Hello, everyone. This is Audrey Codner-Gibson from ACG Math Tutoring. I am coming to you because I just started seeing a lot of people putting on Facebook like how to use this thing called OneNote. So you know what? I just felt like, I think I want to share this with you guys and see how exactly you can actually use OneNote for your classroom or for your tutoring sessions. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about OneNote. It's an awesome resource. I don't know why so many people have not tried it, but maybe a lot of people just didn't know about it. If you are an online tutor or online teacher and you've just been using like a whiteboard behind you and you're trying to talk and write things on the wall, it gets crazy. So with OneNote, it's almost like a whiteboard digitally. Okay, so it's almost like you are basically taking these old-fashioned notebooks and you're creating that as well as creating a whiteboard for your students. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty awesome. So when you go into OneNote and you sign in, they're going to give you what's called these notebooks. So within these notebooks, you're going to have like one, and you can have, as you can see right here, I have multiple notebooks, like one for each of my students. So I said, instead of me putting all the notebooks in there, I'm actually going to show you how to do it. If you keep scrolling down, not to where it says more notebooks, but where it says add notebooks, you're going to hit that add notebook button, and then you're going to actually make the title of it. I like to make notebooks for each of my students. So it's almost like I can say, all right, this is the notebook that I have for AJ. This is the notebook that I have for Susie. This is the notebook that I have for James, okay? So I'm going to write my next kid. So I'm going to say Miss Destiny. And yes, it's spelled a little different than the norm. Then I'm going to pick which of my emails. And for most of you guys, you just have one, but I have two. I have my personal and my business one. So I'm going to connect it to my business one, and then I'm going to click Create Notebook. So as soon as it creates it, it's going to upload into a whiteboard. So right now I'm in Destiny's notebook. So I can go to any of the options on the very top. So my home will take me, if I write something, I can take it back. If I want to insert anything, so say that there's a worksheet that we're working on, or there's a worksheet that I had from classes multiple years ago that I think will be perfect for her to understand the concept that she's dealing with. I will go to printout. So when I click on printout, it's going to take me over to any of my drives. So it could take me to my OneDrive, it can take me to my computer, but I have a lot of this stuff on my G drive. So it's my flash drive. So I'm going to pick, let's say we'll go to BCCC. There was like, I don't know, a drill that we wanted to do. I'm going to pick some of my drills. And then I'm just going to take this drill. And what it does, it uploads the drill onto the OneNote. And you're probably saying, well, Audrey, I don't see anything. Let me scroll down. Here's my drill. So I can take this exact drill. So since there's extra pages, I can delete this page. Boom. I click on it, I hit the backspace, that page is gone. If I want to make this page a little bit larger, I click on the page, I capture one of my corners, and I drag it, and I can make it larger. If this over to the left is a little too annoying, you see where the books looks like they're kind of stacked? I'm going to click on that to make my board a little bit larger. Now from here, I can go to my draw feature. And with my draw feature, it's going to give me several pens. You see this little plus sign right here? I can add a pen. I can add a pencil, I can add a pen, I can add a highlighter, okay? And as you notice, I've been doing that quite a bit. So if I wanted to write, I can hit whatever color I want to write, and then I can kind of like just draw on it with my mouse. So knowing you have a mouse, sometimes it's a little hard to deal with the mouse, as you can see. So that's why I really like to have a writing pad. So when I have a writing pad, usually I have my pen. and it comes with a glove, the one that I have, and it's less than $100. I don't know who are paying $100 for stuff. So this is my XLP pen. So it comes with a pen, it comes with this, and it also comes with wipes and everything. So it's nice and large that I can actually write and draw with. Now, you can also share your screen with your students, but here's the thing. If your students have a Chromebook, they can't annotate. So they won't be able to write and draw and be really interactive with it. You're really going to have to ask the students, so what should I write next? What do you notice? What do you see? So then I'm basically the person that's doing a lot of writing, because I'm not going to ask a student to go out and buy a new laptop just because their laptop doesn't work with the annotation. So that's the only downside with this. But if I want to draw shapes, I can just click on a rectangle. Boom, I got a rectangle. If I wanted a rectangle, that's it. If I wanted a circle, I can do a circle. You know, right here is an oval, but you know, definitely can make it into a circle. If I wanted to represent some math problems, let me get myself out the way, I can actually represent my math problems and put it in there. But most of the time, I do it by hand with my pen. Now, another feature, if you go under View, this is going to be what's amazing. If I scroll up a little bit and get out of that page, I can actually basically create grid paper. Are you listening to me? Grid paper. So you don't have to, oh, okay, I got to go out and buy an easel and put it behind me so I can graph. I can actually hit grid lines and boom, I got graph paper. If this is too small, I go to rule lines and I can make the grid bigger. Rule lines, make the grid bigger. One more time, rule lines, make the grid bigger. Okay, so depending on what age kids that you have, if you're working on how to fill in the boxes, or if you're working on adding and subtracting, or if you're just basically graphing, you can get graph paper. If you don't want graph paper, go up a one where you see rule lines. Boom, you got line paper. So if you know your child, because a lot of schools don't teach handwriting anymore, if you want your child to practice on handwriting skills, they can practice online. I know, right? So if this is way too small, because this is definitely not college rule, so I can go to the next one, I can go next one up, and I can go to the last one, which is very large, okay? So you can have the grid lines, you can have graph paper, you can have anything, and you can basically go to, if I go back to insert, you can go to printout and take any worksheet that you have on your thumb drive and just download it or upload it onto the sheet. So let me scroll down a little bit, right? So we have all this kinds of fun. What happens if there's a picture that I really want my kids to translate into a word problem? So I will go to picture and I can take it from a file, a camera, or from online. Most of the time it's going to come from a file. So if I go to my file, I can go to my pictures, or actually I have some really cool stuff when I was at CNHS. So I got stuff, athletics, station work. So we can have this image with the math sign. It's not exactly what I'm thinking about, but boom, this was me when I was trying to go to Mount Albert in Colorado. So you can put a picture on this and you can probably say, all right, guys, if I'm at a height of how many degrees and how many years, how many miles, you can actually use real live pictures to kind of make connections with the math that they're learning. Or you can put a picture up there and ask the students to create a story, okay? Using certain terms, using certain verbiage, using certain grammar, okay? So you can reiterate that. So everything doesn't have to be typed out into words all the time. You can actually use pictures and put up on here. You can use, as you see up top here, live video, online video. So you can take something from YouTube, maybe a video that you created, and you can put it right on here. So when it's time for them to look at all the lessons and looking at the notes, they can view this. You can also share this. Let me see if I can get out of this. Let me get out of this math part. And as you can see, if I move myself a little bit down, on the very top, here, I can share this. I can share it with the student. So if they were absent for whatever reason, all you have to do is just take the recording of this or take this actual file and share it with them. I know, it's all kinds of crazy. So if they're doing well in the class and they got like a problem correct, and you're like, all right, I can go to stickers if I wanted to. I got a whole list of stickers over here. And then I can just pick a sticker. Boom. Hey, good job. This was awesome. Or I can stick it over here. And I know I'm in Colorado with a koala bear. So for the most part, you can actually put an audio on there. You can actually do any kind of additional details for any of your meetings. You can put symbols. You can have like researchers. You can stick a file on this sheet. Like this can be your whiteboard. And if you have Microsoft OneNote, take a look on your computer. If you have it, it comes with it. It's free. You don't have to pay for bit paper. You don't have to worry about Zoom. This is awesome, kind of good for Zoom as well. But the only thing about Zoom, it's like on their whiteboard, you have to go, here's page 1, then you have to click to go to page 2. I can't just easily scroll. I can't just scroll up or down, side to side. If I want to make it bigger, I can make it extend. I can make it condense. I can do anything that I want with it. If I want to add a table, for instance, so I just go to table, and then I tell what my dimensions of the table is. I want a 4x4 table. Boom, got a 4x4 table, and I can move it. All right, click inside just to fill in whatever you want to fill in with it. Okay, nothing bad. So if you're doing statistics and you want your data set to be kind of put in whatever way, boom, you got it right there. Okay, so the draw will tell me all my drawing, all my inks, writing on my pen, okay, getting my shape, getting my ink, all that. If I go to view, that will give me all my immense reader. So if you have someone that's special ed, and you know they're a little bit slower with the reading, or they want someone to read the stuff out loud, you can click it. Why are we not using OneNote? If you want to make it larger or make it smaller, if you want to zoom in or zoom out, you can do that. Okay, if you want to change the page color, believe it or not, I used to have a student that could not read off of anything. She had to have blue paper. I had to print everything. Everything had to be printed on blue paper. It was written in her IEP. Never experienced that. It was a long year, but guess what? I did it because that's the only way she can read it. So if I want to make this darker, I can make this darker. I can change the color of the page any which way I want, because sometimes that bright white is a little too bright. So maybe turn it into a little bit of yellow. Why not? Okay, we already talked about the rule lines. If I want to delete these notes, I can delete them. I can also translate them, okay, looking at the whole page. I can check for a replay, anything, okay? So again, with the insert, I can insert links. It's just a wonderful thing. So if I go back to home, let me scroll all the way back, and then it's just like writing on a Word document. If I go to show navigation, I'm going right back to my Destiny's notebook. But notice when it says first section, this is what I just basically downloaded in there. I can just say, cross all this out and just say like sample lesson. And then boom, there's sample lesson. That's the first page in her notebook. If I wanted to add a page, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom where it says add page. I click that, I have another page in her notebook. It's just like me actually having a notebook and I just turn the page, and now I'm ready to write notes on another fresh page, right? That's all it is. So if you go very back to the beginning, okay, you're under notebooks. To add a notebook, you go all the way to the bottom, you click on add notebook, then you type in the name, you pick whatever, I don't know, email that you want to connect it. I use my business email because that's what I'm using it for. And then I click on create notebook. And if I want to add a page to that person, I just go all the way to the right, and then I go all the way down where it says add page, and I just go ahead and add a page. That's it. So OneNote, it's such a great tool. It's like having an electronic notebook for all your students. And then once you get all their stuff in there, like if I go with this first one, I have all their work, everything that they've ever done, everything that we worked on. So then they can basically take it and just run with it. So I have some stuff for geometry. We went a couple terminology with all that. And here we have just like hands drawn, let's try to break concepts down. And that's all it is. So what happens if you did exactly what I did? I created a notebook, and then I did all my kids was a tab in that one notebook. Now I'm like, you know what? I can give them their own notebooks. So let me show you exactly what you can do to do that. So just like you did before, if I go back to my notebook section, if I go all the way down, I got to make sure I add a notebook for the person that I want. So I want to do something for Miss Imani. So I created a notebook for her. And now I'm going to go back to my original notebook, which is Audrey's notebook. And notice that Imani is a tab. I want to change that tab to an actual notebook, okay? So I'm going to right click on that. And if you notice, I have either delete the section, which I don't want to do, rename the section, or move and copy. So I'm going to click on move and copy. So I'm telling the system, I want to take every work that I did in that tab and move it into that notebook. So I scroll down and try to find her notebook, which is all the way down here at the end. I click on her name and I hit move. Now, if I don't feel comfortable with moving her into, I can click copy. So I can still have everything in my original notebook, and then I can put everything over. So now, right now in my Audrey's notebook, there's nothing in there. So people are like, oh, you deleted everything. No, I didn't. If I go to this down arrow, this drop, I have Imani. I can click on Imani, and guess what? Boom. Everything that I did on that tab is still in there. Look at all that, all this work that we did together, okay? All of that is still there. And the labeling of it is still there as well. So I do have this new section, and you're probably like, oh, I really want all the stuff that we did before. So just click on it and drag it down. Click, hold, drag down. Now all you did was just change the positioning. But guess what? Everything is still there. If I click on new section, I got a new untitled page, and I can go from there. So I don't have to recopy everything or destroy everything. Isn't that fun? So, and that goes for all of my kids. And what I can do with my notebook here is I can take a lot of the pages that I would normally go for printout, and I might just put it all in my notebook, and all I have to do is just cut and paste it whenever I need it for a particular student. There we go. So as an online tutor, we are trying to think smarter, not harder. We got so many other things that we need to do, so why not make it easy for ourselves? All right, so that's OneNote in a nutshell. And if you have any questions or any comments whatsoever, please share it because I can handle it. All right, and I really want to make sure that everyone is going to do well. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye.